everybody, welcome back. Here's another episode. We're doing some different things today. First thing we're going to do, very first thing, is we're doing some wide egg noodles. Put these puppies in a jar and seal them up. Now, egg noodles, you got a wide range of stuff you can do with egg noodles. You can use them in soups. You can stews, soups, any types of bacon. Baking casseroles. I mean, they don't take long to cook. They take about 5 to 8 minutes maybe.
Yep, that's
to
it.
cook. They don't take long, and they're really good. All you gotta do is boil your water, pour them in. Unless you're doing a stew, let all your vegetables, your meat, and everything, let all that stuff cook up. Because if you let them cook too long, they'll end up becoming mush. Gummy mush. Yep. That's always nasty.
That's always grand.
So, if we're doing that real quick, looks like we get about 2 jars out of them, which is awesome. So, what we're going to do is we're going to seal these up. Like I said, she put them in, leave a good amount of room, about an inch at the top maybe, right here at the top, on the mouth part. So you're going to seal this first one up, and we'll see what we got. We're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to put on there what it is, because without something noticing, it looks kind of almost like regular pasta, if you don't label. So we're going to seal this up real quick, and we'll see what we get. There you go.
Oh yeah, that might help.
It's
Wednesday, okay? Leave me alone. It's Wednesday.
There we go, that one's done. Let's see what we got. Look at that.
Oh, I bet.
Doesn't push down. Stays sealed. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and throw the ring on. The only thing we're going to put on here egg noodle, and we're going to look at the date. There it is. Egg noodle and the date. That way we know what we got in there and what today's date is for sealing it. And we're going to do this last jar real quick. And there's the second jar. And same thing. Sealed up. Always check your middle right here. Push on it just to be sure. We're going to sew the band on. Do the same thing. Write the same thing on there. Just make sure you label it clearly to where you can know what's in there. Same thing, egg noodle, today's date, and what's in it.
Give me
Makes it
that rice
simple.
right there, love.
Alright,
Okay, that one will do.
the instant.
Yeah.
Alright, the next thing we're going to do, guys, we're going to do some instant rice, which is the quick 5-minute rice. You just boil your water, you pour it in, and you stir it real quick, let it sit. And it soaks it up. It's already pre-cooked, so all you got is kind of like dehydrated rice almost. You just put it back in water and rehydrate, and you're good to go. We're going to do this real quick, and we'll be right back and show you what we got. Alright guys, told you we'd be back for the rice on the instant rice.
Now, a viewer told me about...
A subscriber gave us a suggestion on stuff like this. Do the little cupcake liner, guys. We just went to Walmart, get them, but we stick them in the top like this. Whether it's, you know, doing a rice or, you know, doing powder or anything like that. Same thing though. Give yourself the leeway, and then stuff on top, and kind of shove it down in there where it kind of stays, even though it's probably going to, some of it's probably going to get sucked up a little bit, but it will be kind of like a barrier, I guess you could say. That way it doesn't burn out your machines or anything like that. Which is a very good suggestion from our subscriber, which is awesome. A big thanks to her. And we're going to seal these up. Next thing we're going to do is some enriched long grain rice, white rice. And we'll get more in details on that. And we'll be back as soon as... Alright guys, we sealed it up. This is the first one. It actually didn't get sucked up or anything like that. It stayed down. While she seals up that one, I'm going to put on here what's in it. And, well, you're probably going to hear that, so... Alright guys, this is what we got. Put on there just straight up instant rice, because that's all it is. Nothing special about it. Instant rice in today's date. That's all that one takes. And we'll do the same thing with this one. See again. Did not get pulled up or anything like that. And we'll be right back for the white rice. Now when it comes to white rice, guys, it doesn't matter what brand it is. It could be Food Line, it could be Walmart brand, it could be Robert's A1 brand. It does not matter. As long as it's the same white, long grain, enriched rice, it does not matter. It's all the same type of rice, just a different name. Now, brown rice is a little different, because it's brown rice instead of white, so you have to do that separately. But let's say you buy the rice in bulk and you get one of them big, I don't know, 10, 20 pound bags. It's the perfect thing to do for the long run on rice wise. You gonna do one of the cupcake things?
No, this one didn't have the powder like the instant does.
Other than trying to get long haul stuff, guys, that's all that is though. White rice is white rice, unless you're doing jasmine rice or the brown rice, the fried rice, or whatever else is out there in rice wise. Just, if anything, hit the long run on it. Get the big bag if anything. If you don't, get these little tiny bags. Get a few of them. Put them in jars. Because when the world stops, you're going to eat whatever you can get your hands on. Whether it's rice, egg noodles, regular noodles, pasta, anything like that. So other than that, guys, we're going to seal this up. And we'll be right back show you what we got. Alright guys, this is what we got on the end result. Regular rice, because that's all it is regular white rice. Today's date. There's your end result right there. And you can do, there's different ways you can get this stuff sealed up. There's people that put it in the oven.
20-25 minutes. They do it because of the weevils. I'm not really fan about storing rice that long for 30 years. I mean, I'm really not. Most of what I do is for hard times when things get kind of rough and you just can't make it to the grocery store. You have a stash. You don't have to worry about it.
And more on that would be like very inclement weather, like you snowed in, or you live in the country where secondary roads is not the city's priority.
Like we do.
We live in the country, and their priority out here is
the main roads.
Just the main route roads and highway roads and stuff like that. Secondary roads, back roads, any back roads is more or less not their main concern.
And our driveway's a nightmare.
We have a half a mile to ride.
We can't even get out when it rains bad here because our driveway is a slippery mess. And I don't think my insurance company will like me if I wreck my car in my driveway. Not at all.
So this is more or less, for times when you can't get out. And majority of it is more or less inclement weather, and stuff like that. So biggest thing is kind of think about all types of options you've got. Inclement weather, whether it's snow, rain, ice, blizzards, whatever, however you have it when it comes
Tornado comes through.
Tornado comes through, like she said. So
you just don't know.
It's I'll put it this way, it's hell. I'll just put it that way.
It's more about being prepared than it is for 30 years down the road. Because you don't know where you're going to be in 30 years down the road. You don't know.
You don't know from one day to the next of where you're going to be.
So just do in the now.
Yeah, you can.
For your weather, for your situations, think of yourself.
You can,
and your family.
You can buy that 20-pound bag of rice, regular rice that is, and do you some jars up.
You can go through the process of boiling washing jars, boiling them, putting them in the oven dryer. Here we go again.
It's a big dryer.
That's a big dryer. The oven for 20-30 minutes to dry them. Pour your rice in and put them back into the dryer, back into the stove for another 20 to 30 minutes with your rice in your jars. If you're going to do it for 30 to 40 years down the road. Me, I prefer to do in the now. Because, let's just face it, nuclear war comes. You're not going to be prepared. You couldn't be prepared for that. Unless you have an underground bunker. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm poor. I don't have an underground bunker. Can't afford it.
Right.
So,
and even with that, with them underground bunkers, you got to make sure you're going to have enough food, supplies, to last you the nuclear winters.
Yeah.
The nuclear fallout.
But you got to understand, radiation, it's going to leak through the ground,
You got to have a filtration system, which is more money that you don't have.
So I say do for weather, storms. Do what you need to do for you, for yourself.
And again, you can, other than nuclear fallout, you've got, my personal favorite, zombie apocalypse. And you got that. You've got uh, EMPs. You've got, I mean, there's different, there's man-made and then there's natural disasters.
Or you can have a family emergency and everything that you have saved is reverted from that to that. And you're stuck eating bologna sandwiches for 3 months while you're trying to catch up.
Or 6 months.
Or 6 months. So.
Because that's all you can afford.
Yep.
So if you do stuff like this, guys,
you can have rice.
You can at least have rice. If you got bread, you can have and some flour. You can make yourself some gravy. Have rice, gravy, and bread.
Yep. You can take these egg noodles if you got beef stew meat. And you have flour. You can make
stroganoff.
That a meal.
You can make homemade stroganoff. I mean, it really comes down to you as a person of what you want to store. I mean, you can do already prepared meals in jars like this. You can go ahead and cook everything, and then if you're doing like a beef stew, whether it's beef stew, stroganoff, or however, you can go ahead and put it all together, throw it in the jar, can it. That way it's already made or whatever. But if you do that, what noodles you did use for that, you could have used on something else as well. So you got to think about that.
Yep.
And when it comes down to trying to prepare for what you think might happen, don't, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Just prepare for what
for
your season. Prepare for seasons. Because there's hard times in the summertime, there are hard times in the spring, winter, fall, you name it. There's hard times. Just prepare for your own reasons. Not because, you see all these prepping videos. That's fine. If they want to store for 30, 40 years, that's fine with me. But I'm doing this for me and my situation. Not for anybody else. And not for 30 or 40 years down the road.
And don't prepare just for one event. Try to prepare for all events. Doesn't matter if it's, like inclement weather, like we said. Because inclement weather could come and then guess what? Power's out. So now you have two events in one.
There has been a lot of tornadoes here lately. A lot.
And it's all through the south, the mid-south through, kind of into the mid-north. So they're ripping through. I mean, and it's not even in Tornado Alley at that.
Yeah,
it's more
like
or less
Memphis. I mean,
all
places.
over the other places. So, you've got to prepare. It doesn't matter what for. Don't prepare for one particular event. You do that, then guess what? Like we said, if you have inclement weather, snowfall comes, and then ice behind that. Now you've got power outages everywhere. So now you have to figure out a way to cook what you just had.
Exactly. Because the stores are down. You can't get food.
And you're stuck
There's no
in your
power.
house.
You're stuck in your house. There's no help.
Yeah, you've got, the line workers out there. Their job is tough enough with, with the rain, with snow. Now they have to come out in the ice because of the power outages. People don't give them guys enough credit.
Yeah, so a shout out to our line workers. Y'all rock.
I mean, the power companies, they do their best to try to get everybody's power back restored when the power goes out. Doesn't matter what it is. They got guys out there with chainsaws, cutting the trees off the lines, the limbs. A big tree falls, they're out there for hours. In the rain, in the snow, in the ice. So you guys got to remember what you got to go through, what they go through, and give them some credit. But when it comes down to it, you've got to be able to be prepared for that power outage, that being stuck in your house.
If you have a charcoal grill, You can heat it up. The metal racks, they get hot enough to boil water.
Not to mention your charcoal.
Exactly.
Your charcoal gets real hot. You got about, anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 degrees, depending on how much charcoal you put in. And, you throw you a pot on there. Don't use, if all you got is good pots, I'm sorry.
I'll buy new pots next month.
I'd suggest buying another pot or a pot for camping.
Get you some cheap pots. Go to Walmart, just get you some cheap frying pans, something that you don't really care about, don't matter what it looks like. Or go to Family Dollar store, or, they got pots down there for $25. Hey, $25, you don't mind messing up on a grill.
So, if you don't have a charcoal grill, but you got a kerosene heater. We've done that. Our power was out, and we had a kerosene heater. But we went ahead. We had, I think it was a turkey stew. It was really good.
Yeah, I cooked a homemade turkey stew on top of a kerosene heater.
And it was awesome, guys. It was awesome. Vegetables, meat, noodles, the whole 9 yards, you guys.
Yep.
So if you got charcoal grill, kerosene heater, even a wood stove that's just lying around, best one is the pot-bellied wood stoves. That way you can set a pot on top. Throw some wood in that thing. Get that thing rolling. Get it hot. Put your pot on there. Boil some water.
See, because
some noodles on.
You can still cook outside on a kerosene heater if it's hot. You can take that kerosene heater, put it in your yard, and cook. Just cook whatever.
So we're going to figure out what else we're going to do here, guys. And we'll elaborate more on other things as the video goes on. Until then, keep that in mind. Keep what we've just said in mind. Whether you take that or not, it's up to you. But it's something that we've already gone through, that we've been through, that we've done. And we're just sharing what our knowledge is on that. So guys, we'll be right back with something new or with something else to jar up. Once we do, we will show you what that is and we'll show you the process. Until then, we'll see you then. Alright guys, we got something else we're going to do real quick for you guys. Another option out there. A big option too. I don't know how many people are into oatmeal. But we got this big old box right here. It's got 48 packets in it. And again, this is some of that instant oatmeal stuff. So it don't take long. All you need is some hot water and a bowl. That's all you need. But there's little packets of instant oatmeal. That's all they are. Just the little packets. And we're going to do some of the jarring on this stuff. Again, another option for, something quick. Something, especially if it's the winter time, something warm. Hot water on the stove, get it good and warm, whether it be, whether you want it boiling or lukewarm or just a little steam. It's optional on that, on how you want it. But either way you go, make sure, you got some options out here. This is pretty much what this is about, giving you options. Again, because of the little fine powder and stuff that's in it, we're going to use cupcake liners on the top. That way it doesn't get sucked up in the machine. If you can, when you can, if you can, they've got some that are out there that are, cheap. You can buy them online, go to Walmart, buy you one, or
eBay.
eBay it, like Mrs. Robin Hood said, eBay it, buy you a food saver. Not necessarily, something, you can buy you this, like on the last video.
We got ours on sale.
The food saver we got, we had, like she said, we got on sale. We were lucky, I'll put it that way.
It was like $60 or something like that.
But she bought this on eBay for a little over $10. It came with all the attachments. If you have a food saver already, but you don't have an attachment for it, it comes with all the attachments.
There's some more attachments in there.
This is everything that it came with. Two hoses. One goes down, you got an extra. A bottle cap opener to open up your jars safely. 2 attachments that go on the end of your hoses. Let me get them in the right spot. Goes on the end of your hoses to your food saver if you don't have one. If you don't have an extra attachment on your food saver, that is. It comes with the regular mouth top and the wide mouth, which we're using right now. And your pump. Easy to use, easy to operate. No, science needed really on that. Other than that, we got, just so just to make sure what you got. Again, we're gonna put in on the lid as much as we can on label wise, which would probably be maple brown sugar, instant oatmeal.
We need to get some fruit ones.
So yeah, some fruity oatmeals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You can do the same thing with the fruit oatmeal, instant oatmeals. It's all the same. It only takes a few minutes to do. We'll get it jarred up, sealed up, and label it, and we will get back to you once we do that. Alright guys, this is what we got. I just put maple brown instant oatmeal. The INS dot is just for instant in today's date. Now, you can put whatever you want label wise on there, as long as you know what it is. Again, another option for hard times. Just because it's oatmeal doesn't mean you can't eat it whenever you want to eat it. Supper, lunch, breakfast, it does not matter. It's food. And it's something else that is a great budget buy, by the way. I think an 18 value pack is, I think, about $8-9 or something like that. We'll be able to tell you when next time we go shopping how much one would be, and it's good. Again, instant. It's like the instant rice. It's like the egg noodles. It does not take long to cook. All you need is just a little bit of hot water in a bowl, or if you're doing it on in a pot, get yourself a small pot. If you've got a family even of, I don't know, let's say 3 or 4 people, one jar would probably, if anything, 1 to 2 jars will feed 3 to 4 people. It just depends. It gives you an option of really pretty good food to eat. It's got the calories. It's got just a tiny bit of protein. It's more or less, it gives you what you a good substantial amount of stuff. Again, if you don't know how to make it, again, get it, buy it, put the instructions in it. That way you know how to cook it. But all it takes is a little bit of hot water in a bowl. That's all you need. You put your oatmeal in your bowl, put your hot water on the stove, let it come to a small, slow boil, not really hard boil, but a slow one. Lukewarm it if you want to, a little bit of steam coming out, however you want to do it. And again, something quick, easy. Don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to be able to eat or not. As long as you got some oatmeal, some egg noodles, some flour, stuff like that. And she's gonna seal this up, and we're gonna seal the rest of the oatmeal up, and we'll come back to you once we get it all done, let you see what that end result is. Alright guys, we're back. We did finish up the maple and brown sugar oatmeal, instant oatmeal. We got about 4.5 jars of oatmeal. Again, it's another option for you guys for hard times. It doesn't necessarily have to be the end of the world for it. It can just be hard times. Again, you'll be able to eat at least something. Not necessarily, you know, a big meal, but it's something to eat. Quick, easy, takes only about 5-10 minutes to make. Probably an extra little bit to let it cool down enough. Sweet taters. Ooh, okay. Want to try it in, huh? Alright. This is all stuff that's pretty easy to make. And the next thing, we got one more jar left. And we're going to do some sweet potatoes. These are actually pretty good.
They are good.
It smells like, you know, if you made you some sweet potatoes in Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter or whenever day you make them.
Thinking about cheating on my sweet potatoes at Christmas time.
Throw some marshmallows on top and it'll look just like a sweet potato casserole. But that's what we're doing next. These don't take much. It's just quick. You can do it in the microwave. You can do it on the stove. But all you need is some milk, water, and some butter. That's it. And
well, if you don't have butter or milk, you can just use water. Use what's on hand.
Yep. You don't really need butter. It's just like if you did, you know, your regular boxed instant mashed potatoes. That's all these are. It's instant sweet potato, pretty much. But that's the last jar we're gonna do. The last jar on this case, I should say. It's kind of a big mixture of stuff. We're trying to get it to where we can just do a whole case of one thing. That's it. So you're gonna do this on here, and
oh, excuse me.
Looks like we're only gonna get a few packs in there, 2 packs per jar. That's a lot of sweet potato in there. But as you can see, there's the sweet potato powder right there. The rest is just regular potato, but that's sweet potato powder right there.
And one of these pouches serves 5 people.
Serves 5 people at a 1/3 cup or a half cup prepared. Okay, so it's not bad, especially if you're limited on resources and food. Again, same thing. It comes down to, you know, how many people you got, how many people are in there. You know, and this is a 2-package deal right here. So that's at a half a cup. That's 10 people. When you're limited on things,
rations are gonna be it, buddy.
That's how it's gonna be. Rations will be issued out.
And I'm not above rationing people.
And you know, when it comes down to your survival, you will want to ration people. Everybody will, and it'll come down to the point of your survival, regardless of where it's at, and what's going on. We're going to seal this up. You'll probably hear this one because this is not just but one jar. We're not doing, you know, 3 or 4 jars.
I just want to see how this works.
We're going to check it out, see how it's sealed up. Everybody's doing pretty well, everybody. See what we look like. See what we look like.
Some of the
yeah.
powder still came out.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But it's sealed up, guys. I mean, it's straight up sealed up. Check it out. No pop. I'm gonna put the ring on it.
You've got the Sharpie.
And we're gonna put on here.
Sweet instant.
Sweet potato instant. Or instant sweet potato. That's what we'll do.
I got these at Ingles. I don't know if you guys have one of those. But they normally have these 10 for 10. Which I didn't think that was a bad deal. At all. So, I went a little crazy.
And again, do the normal thing. We label it, what's in it, and today's date. Because this will be something that we set back for, again, another thing of hard times. You don't need much to it, really. The milk and the butter is more or less of an option to do. You can do it without, especially if it's, since, there's going to be no power, whatever catastrophe comes, refrigerators won't be useful at all.
Right?
So all you'll really have is water. Best thing to do. And, I mean, yeah, it'll be bland, but you'll have that sweet potato taste to it. It's got all of it in there.
Another thing I like to mention. If you have a deep freezer, your power goes out. Take a big blanket, put over it. It will help insulate what's in that deep freezer. But you will have to check your meats. Or you can do like I do. I buy cheap water, freeze it, keep it in my deep freezers. For when the power out, 2 options you got. Water to drink when it unthaws. Keeps your meats cool where you can eat it, where it's all going to be okay.
The main thing is not letting your meat spoil.
Exactly. And that's what the thick blanket's going to help you do. Plus the bottled water. Frozen bottled water in your freezer. You can turn that into something to drink. Water for your food. Because no one's going to mess with your frozen water. Freeze it. There you go. Drink it. Use it. There you go.
And it's ice cold too, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
We've done that ourselves. We've taken a couple bottles out, put them out, let them kind of thaw a little bit.
We had water.
Enough to be able to get a couple sips of it, and oh my God, it's so cold it'll hurt your teeth back feel.
Yep.
It'll be nice and cold on a hot day. Got them long, hot summer days.
And I tell you another thing I used to like to do. You know that Tang that comes in the little plastic jug? I like to freeze that.
Which is also really
good on a hot day.
When you got a hot day, you take that sucker outside with you and watch what happens, buddy. Let me tell you
I
what.
have had people come to my house and say, "Hey, do you have this?" No, I did not freeze any this year. Oh, well, you suck. Hello?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We've had that happen.
We've had that happen.
Another thing.
I mean, they got mad.
But the main thing would be is you've got a couple sources there. One, it keeps your meat from spoiling and rotting. If you do what Mrs. Robin Hood said, put your blanket over that thing, over that deep freezer. If you got a stand-up one, same thing, same concept happens.
Yeah.
You lay it over the front side, let it, take it to the top, drape it over the top a little bit, so you can, and even if you got to put something up there to hold it up there, drape it over the front of that puppy.
We went a week without power, and the ice that I had in the deep freezer and the blanket kept my meats frozen for a week
without spoil.
without spoiling and unthawing.
And it really helped. Because if you don't do something like that, and you don't, let's say you like us, you don't have a backup generator or anything to keep things running. You know, you got your whole house running on a generator or two, and you ain't got that. That's your next best
thing.
bet right there.
Freeze you some water.
Get you go to Walmart. You can buy a case of water anywhere.
Yeah.
Big case wise. Go to Food Line, Walmart, Ingles if you got that, Harris Teeter if you got that, Sam's Club, however you can get a case of water. Take a case of water, open it up, put it in your deep freezer. Designate just that area for that water so you can freeze.
Yep.
Once it's frozen, you can move it about.
I have some in the bottom. Well, I don't know if I still have them in the bottom, but I had the bottom layer. Then I laid my meat on top. Then halfway up, I put a couple more bottles. And then on top, I put a couple more bottles.
That way, you got frozen water in 3 different places throughout your deep freezer. If you got a stand-up one, it's almost the same concept, except you're just putting it in there on the shelf. You don't have to put it, put your meat on top of it. Just keep your meat organized. Just have it to where the bottled water can be frozen. So designate a little area, just a small portion of your shelf, bottom shelf, top shelf, however you can do it.
However.
And freeze some water.
Yep.
It really helps. It really does in so many different ways. Again, keep your meat frozen. You got something to drink on a hot day. Let it thaw out a little bit, enough to where you can get some drink. Once you sip all that water out, let it thaw out some more. And there you go. You can continuously have water until it's completely gone.
Yep.
And as far as the blanket goes on top of the deep freezers, that it really does help. It really does. It will keep your meat from spoiling when there's no power with that bottle of water in there. And bottled water, a big 32 or 42 bottle water at Walmart is only about $5-6. So do yourself a favor. This is a suggestion. Don't have to. It's up to you, but it will help.
Or you can go to one $25 store and get you a couple. They have 6-packs there for $1.25. Get you a couple of those. It doesn't matter the name of the water or the brand. Everybody has a brand. But bottled water is bottled water. It all comes from the same place, and that's tap.
When it comes down to it, whether it's the end of the world or can't get out, it don't matter what the water type is. Deer Park, Dasani.
Deer Park you can't use in a fish tank, so why would you want to drink that? I mean, if you can't pour it in your fish tank without killing your fish, why do you want to drink it?
But again,
that's just
everybody's got their own brand, so
that's just me.
I know I've seen a lot of people drink Deer Park, so it's on them. But again, at the end, it's not going to matter your type. It's not going to matter the brand. Doesn't matter if it's expensive or cheap. You're going to be drinking it.
Well, I reckon that's because I'm cheap. I like things cheap.
Besides the point. But we've done an entire, 2 cases of Walmart water, the Great Value water, in the deep freezer, and that was when it saved our meat when we did that.
Yep.
And at that time, because we were so worried about having to go buy more meat because it's going to spoil and this thing and that thing, and at the end, when we got our power back, we checked our meat and it was still frozen.
Yeah, we didn't open the deep freezer
That's the main thing.
And we didn't open that deep freezer.
Just keep an
Oh,
eye
you
on
want something? You better fix you a sandwich, because you open that deep freezer, I'm beating you.
And it was a big thing. So we kept the blankets on there. The bottled waters were only half unthawed, so we just refroze them when the power came back on. We let them refreeze. Didn't have to worry about taking them out, having to drain them or anything like that. We just let them refreeze. We're gonna figure out what else we can do with the limited supplies we have. We do have some just a few things that we could probably do. If anything, we will be right back with that, and we will show you what we're doing. Until then, we'll bring you some more insight and some more suggestions. Really, they're not you have to do. It's suggestions only. It's up to you as a person and an individual what you want to do and how you want to do it. We're just giving you some tips and suggestions on these things. And until then, we'll be right back. Alright everybody, real quick, I'm doing a quick correction with these food buckets. Again, good suggestion to have for the long run. When it'll save your butt when you ain't got much food. The correction is the shelf life on these things. These things is up to 30 years because they're already, like I said, they're like MREs almost. They're already pre-packaged with oxygen absorbers in them. You don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to go bad or have it a jar or anything like that. It's just real quick. It's still sealed. Because in order to get it open, you gotta pull this little tab right here. You gotta break that tab, pull it all the way around to get it open. But these right here, these little things, these little buckets, might be 48 hours. It's a 4-person kit. It's got 5 meal varieties in it. You've got, I can tell you what you got in it right now. You got 1 pouch of buttermilk pancakes in it, 1 pouch, not patch, but pouch of maple brown sugar oatmeal, elbow macaroni, 2 pouches of that, 1 pouch of the cheese powder, 2 pouches of the creamy chicken flavored rice soup, and 1 pouch of creamy potato soup. Now you got 2 pouches of the creamy chicken. All of it's really good. It really is. All you need, again, it's all been dried out, stuff like that. You don't need much more of anything. You just need water. It's one of those just add water type deals. Boil your water, add it in, stir it in. Again, you don't need a stove for some of this stuff. All you need is more or less, again, a grill if you got it, kerosene heater, wood stove, anything that can heat up real good to boil water. You can even make yourself a rocket stove outside, if anything. Probably on one of the survival videos I'll show you how to make a rocket stove. As long as you got the things you need, that's all it is. Another big thing is me and Mrs. Robin Hood got to talking, and we thought, you know, that you guys would really like to know. You can prep for, you know, super long time, but you know, you just don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. So the best thing to do is prep for, you know, for a month, by the month, pretty much. A lot of people I know are on budgets, big time budgets. That's what this is about, budget buying in general. A lot of things that we buy ourselves are, you know, in between, anywhere between $1, $2. You know, sometimes, you know, we do get big things, you know, like milk, stuff like that is high up there. But when it comes to food, we we look for our deals. You know, like these Betty Crocker things, the instant potato stuff. They're $1 a piece, 10 for 10, pretty much. That was at Ingles if you have one. You can also, if you're doing, you know, the jars, you can go big, you know, get you the boxed potatoes, the bags of rice, stuff like that, to be able to do big jars, you know, to do as many jars as you can. You don't necessarily have to do just the little small bags. We only get the small bags because they're cheap. If you have an Aldi's nearby, go to an Aldi's. They do this, you know, you buy it pretty almost in bulk, like a Sam's Club. Go to Sam's Club if you have a membership. Sometimes they've got good deals on things. Walmart, again, you know, you're iffy. Just be careful. I don't know if everybody, you know, has watched that short, and that was just on a thing of jars, by the way. It rang up as 1040 something, 1050, 1060 or something like that after tax. And if you have the app, download the app. If you don't, scan that barcode. I scanned the barcode and it came up as like $4.30 or $7.36. Sorry, $7.36. That is over a $3 overcharge that they're trying to get you with. They will try to get you ripped off. So, if anything, if you go to Walmart, when you're buying certain things, whether it's, you know, jars, survival gear, stuff like that, anything, even food, they misprice food. They leave the old price up there just so you can pay, just so you pay more, and they don't change the price. So always be on the lookout. And if you're trying to prep for a good storage time, guess what? That's the best thing to do. Always try to get as much money saved as possible. If you're a couponer, coupon everything if you can. Certain things it's not really going to matter because you're not going to have a whole lot of running water for, you know, brushing your teeth and stuff like that. So I wouldn't worry about couponing, you know, toothpaste and stuff like that. Like I said, we got to talking and just prep for, like Ms. Robin Hood said, prep for the now. Prep for, you know, all catastrophes, not just one catastrophe. Don't prep for, you know, if you live in, you know, Tornado Alley, definitely prep for tornadoes. Definitely prep for that, because that, you know, that's a big thing. But prep for, you know, different variety of things. Make sure you've got food for different reasons, not just one catastrophe, or whether it's man-made or natural. Don't prep for one type of end of the world thing. Like if you just prep for just an EMP, if you make a Faraday cage or whatever, don't prep just for that. Prep for EMPs. Prep for, you know, like I said, my personal favorites, zombies. You know, the zombie apocalypse comes in. Any type of apocalypse, really. Not necessarily just that. But prep for a variety of things. Looks like she's got some things coming out that she's wanting to do.
Thank you for that save.
We're going to do some, looks like some loaded baked potatoes, instant potatoes, some roasted garlic. Ooh, that sounds good.
Give us some different sides.
Variety. Give yourself a variety. But always try to save money where you can. It's prepping. You know, if you are the type of person that does homemade macaroni and cheese, buy yourself the elbow noodles. Buy yourself, if you can find powdered cheese, buy it. Other than that, guys, some quick insight. We'll get back to you as soon as we start doing this other stuff right here. Until then, we'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back real quick. We did 2 jars of loaded baked tater ones and 2 jars of the roasted garlic. Now, the roasted garlic one with the loaded taters, we got 3 of them in. We put a 2 on the loaded taters, we got 3. The roasted garlic, we got 2 of them in. Okay. The reason why I put 2 on there for the roasted garlic is because 1 pouch at 2/3 cup prepared, guys, serves about 6 people at 2/3 cup. And when it comes down to it, that 2 bags right there at 2/3 cup, when you got to ration out stuff, that 2/3 cup goes a long way. And a big thing would be is when rations come, that will help. That will help out a lot. Now, if you got 4 people or 5 people or whatever in your family, and that's all you can, because that's all you're gonna be able to fit in a jar. That's 2 bags right there. Almost an entire jar is 2 bags. You want to leave that head space as well. And when it comes down to it, guys, you're gonna want to be able to know how much is in it, especially when it's got to be rationed out. So if you know exactly offhand how much it is on ration wise, or if you don't, cut the ration part out on the servings, put it in with the jar, that way you know. We're gonna try an experiment, I should say.
Definitely an experiment. Yeah.
For these little passeroni guys right here. They're cheap. The only thing is it has a little pouch in it that's going to be kind of difficult to get in. It's going to probably be a whole lot of finessing trying to get that thing in there.
Right.
But we're going to try this.
We're going to do it just like that and pour the rice over it.
The 4 cheese corkscrew pasta. We're going to try that. By the looks of it, we might be just a jar.
Poke.
What?
Your toothpicks are probably, where's my pins? My pen joke.
Oh,
My pen thing. I don't even know what to call it today.
Toothpick actually wants me to poke a hole real quick. The last time we didn't poke a hole and it swelled up to macaroni and cheese pouches.
Great. Don't need that. Alright, put this in there. Nigger it in there. Got it. And then we're going to pour the rice. Let's see what happens.
That by itself is a jar of its own. So, that'll be a jar per box of one of these.
Wait.
And
We might need the directions. So, up.
you'll be alright. As long as it didn't cut it too bad off. That's just what you need, so it didn't get the what you need part out. So we're just cutting the instructions out. We're going to put that in the jar just so we'll have them, because this is a little different type of cooking than rice or just regular old egg noodles or something like that.
Take this little side piece. I'm going to poke it around front so we know what it is.
Okay. If you don't know, couldn't get that, she's taking this right here. This part right there. So we know what's in it. No guessing. No, well, what's in it? How do you do it? Stuff like that. She's putting
look,
this
we
right
got
now.
mystery jar.
She's putting the label, the little short label on the side in there. Once she does that, it's sealed up.
Let's see if we're messing up here.
Don't have
Y'all
to.
in for the ride too.
Look at this. This is just an experiment, so we don't know what we're getting ourselves into with this stuff.
Okay, everybody cross their fingers. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. I'll wash this cheese out.
Okay, we're good. Okay, it turned out really good, guys.
Right.
It didn't swell up or anything. It stayed thin like it was supposed to. But she got the pastaroni 4 cheese corkscrew pasta label in there, and the instructions in there with no problems, guys. All that's grand stuff right there. And the only thing, see, now that it's labeled, now it's got a label, the only thing we have to do on this is put the date. That's it, because the label's in there.
Pretty sure. Thank you.
That's all you got to do for that. You just put the date. Because you still want the date to know, how long you got with it. And again, things in boxes, mice can chew through it, get to your food, and if a mouse gets into your food, you might as well throw the entire box away.
Oh yeah, because they
they'll
eat
urinate.
and poop at the same time. I don't get it.
They'll poop, they'll urinate, and if they get into that box, it's gone. It's no good.
Yeah.
So, best thing to do is if you get stuff like this, guys, go ahead and get you a case of jars, and and get this in jars as quick as possible. It's easy stuff to cook too. And we also want to put a number 1 on it because it's only taking 1 box to get it in there. And these here, for ration wise, if it comes down to it, it's 2.5 servings per box. Okay, guys. Now this is based off of the dry pasta and a tablespoon of sauce mix. Okay, this is not prepared. Prepared, it might be a little different. It might be 3 servings prepared. But ration wise, I would try to do a guesstimation, guys. A guesstimation on it. But it's per box, so you'll want to kind of factor in how many people are in your
group,
in your family when it comes down to it. And it could get to the point of you might be a lot less rations on those because of what they are. And the biggest thing is just watch out for your, make sure everybody eats. That's the main thing, is make sure everybody eats. Again, she did the same thing again. She put the label in there, instructions, and everything that's on the inside of it.
Wow.
So once she does all that, we'll come back.
I hope nobody saw that.
Unless you see the end result. And we'll be right. Alright, guys. We got kind of a quick little update thing. Is the pasta stuff, the pasta runnies that we were showing you, it's really kind of a waste, to be honest with you, on a jar. I mean, we had it already ready to go, so we might as well, we went ahead and did it. because you can only get one box in a jar on the pasta ronis. The same thing with these little suddenly pasta salad things. This is one. Look at all that space right there at the top. That is a lot of space right there. So it'd be a waste. And you don't want to waste the jar on the packets that comes with it, because that's a jar that you could use on something else.
Wow. Yeah, it's a Wednesday.
It's definitely a Wednesday, y'all.
It's definitely a
But
Wednesday.
that's a waste right there, guys. So, best bet, don't worry about trying to get these done. Best thing to do for that is, if you can, keep your pantry temperatured right. If you got to, put you some mouse traps out. Try to minimize as much as you can on the mice eating on your food. Or, you know, because with these guys here, is for this, these are one, you need a 1/4 cup of olive oil or vegetable oil and a tablespoon of cold water. Okay, so something like this, guys, the best thing to do is not worry about it. We've moved on to doing some of these guys again. The creamy chicken flavor. Okay, we're doing some more of these. We have just about an entire case. It's the same thing, same concept, guys, because it's got powder in it. We use the cupcake liners at the top to minimize how much powder gets sucked into this bad boy right here. We don't want to burn out our machine, so
Ooh, no, that would be bad.
again, a big thanks to one of our subscribers that suggested it. We are definitely using it. We're getting around to doing the painter's tape. We don't, it's a little bit more expensive with painter's tape, so we're gonna try to find some. If you got some around here already, try that suggestion out when it comes down to putting labels in and putting labels on. Again, a big thank you to her for them. And for other than that, guys, we're going to get this done real quick, and we will be right back and show you the end. Alright, guys, now these were a little different. These two jars here, we're able to get 3 of these pouches in a jar. Now we already had the label in there, instructions. The only thing we had to do excuse me, was put the date and how many's in there. That's all we had to do.
Cannot find them.
And for these, this is all the dry stuff. It's just a cup, half a cup dry mix on the serving size. So it'll probably be anywhere between a cup to 2/3 cup. It could be different when it's, you know, prepared and mixed. So if anything, guys, it'll be another thing that you can put into a jar for your pantry. Again, put your label, put your instructions, put how many's on there, and the date that you do it. That way you got a good reminder of when everything will be rotated out. If you get new, rotate all that to the front. That way it's old, because it's older stuff. So we're still on the hunt for some the Teddy Grahams that we had. We're going to do that real quick. Again, that'll be another thing for kids. If you got grandbabies that need some snacks and stuff like that. Other than that, guys, once we find them, we'll be able to do them, and we'll show you what those look like in the end. Okay, so we'll be right back. Okay, guys. We're back real quick. Just a quick thing. We're doing some instant dry milk. By the way, it's not as bad as it sounds. It really isn't. Because one of these pouches does a quart of milk. Okay? You can get 1 cup, 4 servings, 1 cup prepared. Okay? But you can use this not just for drinking and stuff like that. You can use this for food. You can use it in macaroni and cheese. You can use it in pudding. There's a wide variety. Which is another thing for a good prep. Dry milk. Because all you need is water. Just add water and you've got yourself some milk. And to be honest with you, it's actually really good.
It is.
It really is. You can use it in cereal. If you got kids and you're low on regular milk, if you've got a pouch of dry milk around or 2 pouches or something like that, man, you've got yourself some good milk. And believe it or not, the cereal will sweeten it up a little bit if you use, if your kids eat the sugary kind, like Captain Crunch or Frosted Flakes or something like that. It'll sweeten it up a little bit for you, for the kids. It's actually not that bad. We're doing 3 pouches in a jar because a gallon, we can do 3 pouches on a gallon, which makes it really good and rich. It's actually rich in calcium and good source of protein because it's not a lot of protein, but it's a good source of it. It's got 8 grams of protein. And for a diabetic, this milk right here is best. It really is. It's only got 12 grams of carbs in it. Total sugars altogether is 12 grams. So it's one of the better things for a diabetic. It doesn't have all those additives and stuff like that you find in the gallon in the grocery store. You can get them in just the pouches, like this, the single pouches, or you can get them in boxes. The box is a little bit easier. These are actually really cheap. The box is only like 10, 11 bucks. So she's going to do a quick vacuum of it. Again, she put the label in there so we know what it is. She put one of those little cupcake liners right here at the top because it's powder. So, looks good. Do a quick vacuum. And there we go. So now we've got 3 quarts in a pouch. What we normally use for a gallon, we normally use 3 pouches anyway. It is pretty good. It's really good. Right there it says right there, makes 1 quart. And again, if you don't know how to make it, cut your instructions out right there, put it in with the milk, and you've got it made. Again, it's real cheap. It's a good and awesome pantry addition for it. Again, the only thing we do is because if you first look at it, it looks like some instant potatoes. So what we did is we went and labeled it milk and the day's date. That way we know what it is, when we sealed it, and it's going to be put on the pantry. Good addition, great addition really.
I want to show everybody something.
Okay.
Before you think we're ruining these jars, I want to show you something. We're going to use this one, okay?
Now she's got an alcohol pad.
It's an alcohol pad. Wipes away clean.
Bam. There's no number there, no date.
So when you reuse yours, just take your alcohol pad, wipe.
if you got alcohol pads around, use them. If you've got even if you got regular alcohol in the bottle, just put it on a paper towel. Paper towel does just the same.
Yep.
They come in the spray bottles now too. So you can get a spray bottle, spray it on your paper towel, wipe off everything you got right there. That way you can relabel it something else when it comes in. So if you use that, wash your jar up, let it dry, put whatever the next thing is in it. Other than that, guys, we got 2 more jars. We're going to figure out what we want to put in there. Again, the dry milk is a great addition. Again, it does make only a quart, 1 pouch, right there. It's a great addition to have. Best way to buy this type of milk, really, suggestion, is buy the box. It's only about 10, 11 bucks.
That's at Walmart.
At Walmart. We haven't really looked anywhere else for the dry milk to see how much it is and stuff like that. So, if you've got the time, go ahead, shop around a little bit. Do a price checks on everything.
And if you find it cheaper, let us know.
Yeah, drop a comment if you find it cheaper somewhere else in the box, because we buy the stuff in bulk as much as possible. That way we can do stuff like this for storage, for prep, and stuff like that. So if you find it cheaper, like Miss Robin Hood said, drop a comment, let us know. Hey, we got it here. It's about this much, and it's at this store right here. Whatever store it might be. So, and we will be happy to pretty much go get it and try it out. We're all about trying kind of new things as well. So, like I said, the suggestion for the cupcake liners at the top for the powdered stuff was a suggestion from a subscriber. So, again,
and
thanks.
You can do crackers, cookies.
You don't have to necessarily do just regular food. Give me one of them jars just in case somebody missed it on another video. This is just Oreos right here. The only thing we did is we put the date on the top. That's all we did. We already know what they are. It says it right there, Oreo. So we got that. We got some popcorn mix. It's caramel and cheddar popcorn, cheese popcorn, same thing, a date. We also did Twizzlers. They're Twizzler Wild Berry. We had to label that, but we also put the date on there. We did those. We did some figs. Just the regular figs, or not the strawberry or anything like that. We did figs. We did some of those hazelnut chocolate, fine chocolates. Again, the name of them, and on the date on there, on that. And another good pantry getter, if you've got small jars, like the half pints, which is really good, these honey roasted peanuts, doesn't matter the kind, it doesn't have to be planters and stuff like that, but any kind that you like. If you got a big bag and you know you're not going to eat them all, grab the half pint, like on the short, grab the half pint, go ahead and separate them up. That way you've got a small jar to do it in. Just grab a small jar, pop it open, eat them. There you go. We also did trail mix. Same thing. If you've got a big bag of trail mix and you know you're not going to eat it all, grab them small little half pints, and there you go. Half pints to pints even work too. Trail mix. We got a trail mix again. Trail mix, and the date that we did it, a couple days ago. If you didn't catch it at the video, that'd be a good thing to look at. We did a little quick recap of that. It's not just about the food and stuff like that. You could do many variety of things. It'll help. In the long run, it'll help you. Again, we were trying to find the Teddy Grahams. We were hoping they were still here, but I guess they might have got eaten. So, but we do have, here, hand me that Jolly Rancher packets vacuum sealed. We did vacuum seal some Jolly Ranchers. Okay, put the label in there so we know what what it is. It's the hard candy, hard Jolly Ranchers. But we vacuum sealed it. It's like a brick in here. And we did that. It's a good little thing to do. If you've got a food sealer and you have a way to vacuum seal hard candy, especially if it's a big bag and you know you're not going to eat a whole bunch at a time, just put out what you're going to eat, vacuum seal the rest. It's not just about doing foods, and stuff like that. It's however you could do it. Other than that, guys, we've got 2 more jars to do. We're going to try to figure out what to put in these things so we can show you guys other options you have. When we do that, we will come back and let you know. Until then.
Nope.
Alright, guys.
It was good.
Last 2 jars we fit some good stuff in. Put 2 on this one. And the date. This one here is combos. The pizzeria combos. Got 2 bags in there. Put today's date on that one. The other jar
It's Ritz crackers.
is Ritz crackers. There's the label. Yeah, there's a couple crackers in front of it, but everybody knows that label, that symbol. The only thing we did was we just put the date on it because it was about a pack and 3/4 maybe of the regular sleeves, so didn't worry about it. But it's a great snack to have when you need one. If you got peanut butter, throw some peanut butter on them, and there you go. You got a good hearty snack. I mean, you can't go wrong. Again, guys, save yourself some time. Go ahead, try to buy as many as you can. Even if you're on a budget, buy as much as you can. Store it away. Buy yourself, of course, your regular supply, and buy a few extras so you can jar it for a hard time. You just never know when it's going to come.
Another thing I'm thinking about doing. I don't know, but I want to try it. But if you have tried it, comment, let me know. I have heard that you can freeze eggs, that you have to have ice trays, and you just crack them from the shell, put them in the trays. Cover it with that clingy wrap stuff, and put it in your freezer. Let them freeze, put them in a Ziploc bag, put them in your freezer. I don't know anything about it. Like I said, if you have done it, drop me a line. Let me know how it went, how you did it, and stuff like that. That is something I want to try.
And again, that'd be good for cooking. It's pretty much all you have. All you're doing is melting it in your frying pan and letting it cook.
But I do want to try it.
So it'd probably be a good little experiment to try. And
I just want to make sure it's worth doing it.
And something worth putting out there for you guys to see for any type of reason at all, whether it's prepping or just for yourselves. So if you have, like she said, put it in the comments. Let us know. Again, for us, it would be an experiment, definitely a big experiment. But let us know, see how it went. And other than that, guys, that's our last 2 jars that we're doing. Hit that like, subscribe, and notifications button. Share with your family and friends if they're wanting some ideas. Oh, light died. Oh well. So we don't charge.
Yeah.
But you guys got a big gist of how to do it, what to do. When we go shopping again, we did get a kind of like a suggestion, I guess you can say, and we will do it. It was more of a question than anything.
How we freeze our meats.
How to wrap your meats, how you freeze them, stuff like that. We'll do kind of do a gist of both. That way it covers what that person would like to know. Again, suggestion is not really to wrap it. Kind of get yourself save some space. Again, they're cheap. You can buy them online. You can buy them in Walmart. Better probably go on eBay and buy them. But a food saver. You don't have to get a big monster one or anything like that. We got this on sale, so we were lucky to get it. They do have some that's out there for only about $50. Probably cheaper on eBay. You'll probably get a lot more with it, attachment-wise, to be able to use it. Again, find yourself the food saver bags if you can. Walmart's got big boxes when they have them in stock. The meat is the best thing for that. Some meats we'll get into a little bit depth when we do that video. Again, probably the next video will be that, if anything. If not, it'll be some more preps. If not, survival side. Again, hit that like, subscribe, notifications button, share with your family and friends if they're wanting some tips, some suggestions to do. If you're younger and you have elderly parents, kind of help them out. Let them see the video or tell them about it. One of the two. Help them out. Get them some good preps in their pantry. I mean, it's worthwhile in the end. It really is. But without any questions, guys, like, subscribe, comment, share with family and friends, and we will be back when we strike again with another prep survival video.